Moral dilemmas in media can provide for interesting conflicts. It can be brilliant, it can be difficult, but in the end, it really doesn't matter because the choice is already chosen for you. But in video games, you're free to decide, which is something impossible in other mediums. If we don't count choose your own adventure books, but with a choice presented in video games, they're not challenging the character, but instead, they're challenging you. And achieving that can be quite hard because that requires the player to be immersed and not searching the answers up on Google like the scum they are. I do think there's one game that does it really well. Lies of P. Lies of P is a retelling of the story Pinocchio, if it were Dark Souls, and I'm pretty sure that everybody is familiar with the story Pinocchio. Maybe not the original novel, but definitely the Disney movie. The main lesson from that film is to always tell the truth, but with Lies of P, it kind of flips that. What if there was a situation where lying is the better solution? In Lies of P, you're in a universe where puppets overrun the world, but you, Giletto's puppet, Pinocchio, have a unique skill. You're the only puppet that can lie. Telling the truth usually seems more virtuous than lying, and choosing between two extremes can be difficult. While I do think it's important to tell the truth, even if it does hurt, it is possible to be too honest.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really stupid.
While the usual consensus is that lying is bad, if the truth can cause unnecessary harm, then I think lying would be better in some situations.
Gotta say, you're photogenic.
Let me drop some knowledge on y'all. PewDiePie believes that virtue is what is between the two extremes. So if honesty was virtuous, then a lack of honesty would be deception.
Give me something, Velasco, or I'll take you back to the cells and tell the whole station you're a child molester. How long do you think you'll last?
Okay.
And too much honesty would be bluntness.
Maybe you got rid of that old yee ass haircut you got, you get some bitches on your dick.
So it's all about finding a balance. But sometimes these games make it kind of hard to decide. The very first moral dilemma this game puts you in, you'll meet the weeping lady who's been quarantined because she's been diagnosed with an incurable disease. She knows that she won't be here for long, so she asked us for one request: to bring her baby back.
Thank you so much, kind one. I can finally see my sweet Elena's face again.
The baby is with the woman's family, so it sounds easy enough. And they're all dead. Okay. But you do find a baby doll, and Gemini, the fucking cricket, is like, what if we give her this fake baby doll? Now I want you to decide if it's better to tell the truth or to lie. Did you lock in your answers? Good, because whether you tell the truth or lie, both answers are incredibly depressing. If you decide to tell her the truth, she doesn't believe you because she believes that the fake baby doll that you gave to her is her baby, and she's convinced that her family put you up to this. However, by telling a lie, she feels satisfied and almost at peace because she's finally happy that she was at least able to see her baby before she passed away. And you still feel pretty bad because that's not her actual baby, so it feels deceitful. It also doesn't help that the performance is really good.
There, my baby. I missed you so much.
One thing that makes these moral dilemmas so effective is that it's timed.
I'm going to die.
So it challenges your on-the-spot thinking. It's not like timers are a foreign concept in storytelling games, but it's because these situations only happen a few times in the game, so it always catches you off guard. And it's not like you can pause the game just to think about your choices, because pausing any Souls-like game is as effective as telling Kanye West to get off of Twitter. It's not. And the answer doesn't give you enough time to search for these answers on Google. I know some of you guys are guilty of this, so you had to choose right there and now.
What?
Since the game has autosave, you can't just simply reload your save file. If you dislike the choice you made, you just kind of have to deal with it, which is crazy because time traveling is a core mechanic in the game. How these choices affect the gameplay and the game's ending can be quite the conundrum. While telling the truth, you hurt somebody's feeling, even if it is unnecessary. Telling the lie makes you more human. You become more proficient at the piano, you can now pet the cat, but the problem with gaining humanity is that you slowly lose your puppet abilities. And you're only surviving out here for this long because you're a puppet. You have a robotic arm that you can use as a grappling hook, and the reason why you're able to tank so many hits is because of the machinery that is inside of you. That's an actual mechanic in the game. So either gain more humanity but become physically weaker, or tell the truth and lose all emotions and become indifferent to the world around you. Having the pros and cons weighed out for you makes for an effective moral dilemma in video games, because things can go either way. Whether you tell a lie or tell the truth is perfectly reasonable. Like, you can pet the cat but you lose your ability to use your sick ass grappling hook. To be fair, it's a pretty good trait.
Oh man, it's so cute. It's so cute.
My favorite moral dilemma in the game is where a man asks us to find his wife's belongings. During all the haywire, he and his wife were separated. He already believed that his wife was already dead, but would like to have us bring back her belongings. We do find someone that fits his description, but there's one major difference. His wife was a puppet. He's aware that it's bizarre for a man to fall in love with a puppet, but what he felt was very real to him.
But she was real to me. I saw a shining soul inside her.
He just wanted to know if it was even possible for a puppet to be in love. You know, it's really hard to confirm if the puppet did actually love him back, considering that she was already dead, but I chose to be blunt about it because I didn't really think it mattered. But that's not what makes it my favorite situation, it's what happens afterwards. I returned to this safe haven and the puppet shopkeeper, Paulandina, pulls us aside, puppet to puppet, and he's like, hey man, I'm madly in love with the old decrepit lady in the wheelchair, Antonia. Okay, this situation entirely shaped my perspective on the previous situation. If a human can fall in love with a puppet and the puppet can reciprocate it back, it should be entirely possible for a puppet to fall in love with a human. What makes this moral dilemma so effective is its context. Context is so important because it can recontextualize and change your perspectives on things. Elite ball knowledge, LeBron James, the undisputed GOAT. But without understanding how impressive it is to dominate in the sport of basketball, it can be hard to recognize how impressive his athleticism is. If you tell someone who knows nothing about basketball, like absolutely nothing, they wouldn't be as impressed because they don't have any context to go off of. Like, put LeBron James in a football game. LeBron's skills at an NFL match seems kinda unordinary, because something amazing can just seem ordinary in a different context. How Lies of P does moral dilemmas so well is finding that balance between two extremes, and that the options are limited and the context to understand how it affects Pinocchio. Now you're probably thinking, why should I give a rat's ass about these moral dilemmas? I'm here for the gameplay, I'm not here for the ethical implications of Pinocchio. And you know, that's fine too, but the unexamined life is not a life worth living. Socrates said this in his trial in Athens. Although a bit harsh, Socrates means that a life without challenge, self-reflection, and critical thinking is a life that holds no value. The games we like and dislike are an extensions of ourselves, and especially the choices we make too. Lies of P respects the player enough to make them choose, whether you lie to preserve one's feelings, to survive, because to make a choice, right or wrong, is what makes us human. Lies of P isn't the only game that can do these dilemmas well, but it sure is an outstanding example, making Lies of P a masterpiece. Okay. Oh, you're at the end of the video? If you enjoyed it, please hit the like and subscribe button, you know what I'm saying? I got another video in the back. I wasn't planning to work on it for so long. I just wasn't expecting it to be that ambitious. I'm working on it. I'm just making this video while I try to work on that. So I hope you enjoy this in the meantime. So yeah, stay tuned.